Thank you, everyone, for coming. My name is Tika Harris. I'm the Human Rights Specialist from the Central West region of Massachusetts. I work for the Department of Developmental Services, and
I'm James Miller. I'm head up self-advocacy for West.
so we are here today to talk about human rights. We're here to talk about human rights. We were actually asked to develop this training by a group of self-advocates who wanted a better understanding of what human rights are, and they wanted to know specifically what it means to exercise that right or to use that right to get their needs met. So what are we talking about today? We're going to talk about dignity. We'll talk about self-determination. We'll talk about each of the human rights, what it means to exercise our human rights, limits placed on our rights, and who can help me to learn more about my rights. So first, let's start with a little discussion about services. Services are what our providers provide for us, in a sense, what they give to us to help us to be more independent, the supports that they put in place to help us to achieve goals and to learn new skills. So the services that I receive should promote human dignity and self-determination. My services should also meet my needs, help me to develop skills, like I said, help me to increase my independence, support me to make independent choices. That's what services are. Dignity is what our services and supports promote. So dignity, what is dignity? Dignity is when I respect myself, when I have confidence in myself, when I'm proud of what I can do, when other people admire me and treat me with respect. So, James, do you feel that you have dignity?
Yes, Tika.
And how do you know that you are respected?
People treat me like I am important. People pay attention to me. People listen to me and look at me in the eye. People don't interrupt me when I'm talking. People don't try to finish my sentences. People care about what I think.
Awesome. So does everyone in the room feel that they have dignity, that they are respected by others? Yes, awesome. So let's say this together. I am a person. I have confidence in myself and in my abilities. People should have confidence in me. I respect myself. People should treat me with respect. Awesome, very good. So our services promote dignity. They also promote self-determination, so we should talk a little bit about what that is. Self-determination is freedom to do things and make decisions about my life. And it's freedom to live as I choose. So what about making choices? Do you make choices when it comes to your life?
Yes.
Yes. Does everyone in the room feel that they are making choices about things that happen to them? You're making decisions about your life? Awesome. So let's say this together. It's my life.
I know what I want.
I make my own decisions. Ask me, listen to me. I choose. Great. So we're going to talk about what our rights are. What our rights are, we'll explain each of them. We'll explain each of the rights and what you can do to make sure that you're exercising those rights. But in a nutshell, we're going to talk about services and supports. So I get the services and supports that I need. Where I live is my home. I'm a part of my community. I choose activities that I like. I wear the clothing that I want. I keep my own stuff. I eat healthy food that I like. I talk to the people I want to. I get privacy. And people can visit me. So that's an overview of what the rights are. We're going to go into each one specifically. So we're going to start with services and supports. So when it comes to services and supports, I should help decide which services and supports are part of my plan. My services and supports should be explained to me so that I understand what's going on. People should be respectful when communicating with me. and I should be treated like the adult that I am. So what is important about understanding your services and supports is understanding that we need to be active in our services and supports. We need to be making decisions. We need to be involved in the decision making. We shouldn't let things happen to us. We shouldn't let people make decisions about our lives. So asking questions and making sure that we understand everything that has to do with our services and supports is really what's important. So what can I do to make sure that I am active in my services and supports? I can read the plans people write about me, or I can have someone read my plan with me. I can ask questions. I can ask people to explain what I don't understand, and I can ask for changes if I don't agree. So that's services and supports. So now we'll move on to home.
Home. My home should be located in a safe neighborhood of my choice. My home should be comfortable and nicely decorated. My bedroom should be decorated the way I want.
Awesome.
How many of you would like this bedroom?
Yes? Maybe?
Does anybody like this bedroom?
Me too.
Okay.
How many of you like this bedroom?
That one's okay.
So there's no reason that we can't have any one of those bedrooms. Our bedrooms can look exactly like that if we wanted them to, right? All it takes is some planning, some paint maybe,
Yeah.
a couple of pictures. So what else can we do to make sure that we're exercising our right to decorate our homes the way that we want? What can we do to get a room like this?
Well, what we can do is think about what I may want in my bedroom or rooms of my house. Look through magazines. Go online and download pictures. Take pictures of displays that at stores like IKEA and Jordan's Furniture.
We all love IKEA, right?
Buy the things I need. Decorate my room the way I want. Ask for help if I need it.
Awesome. So we're going to go and decorate our rooms like that, right? I choose picture number 2, so I'm going to make picture number 2 my bedroom. So community is the next one. So community, I should be familiar with the community that I live in. I should be a part of my community. And I should have opportunities to meet other people living in my community. So what can I do to make sure that I'm a part of my community and I'm familiar with what's around me? I can take a ride around the neighborhood. I can write down the names of places I would like to visit or ask for help from a friend or family member whom I trust. I can make a map of the neighborhood. I can be friendly and say hello to neighbors. I can search online or in the newspaper for events happening near me. And I can ask for help finding events and opportunities to meet people. So one of the suggestions was making a map of the neighborhood. This is something that you can do if you want to get familiar with your neighborhood. So let's say that, James, we move into a house that is smack dab in the center of this neighborhood. We're new to the area. We don't know where anything is, and we love coffee. We love flowers. Flowers. We love money. So we need to get to the bank, and we may need to get to the hospital in an emergency. So we need to know where those things are, where those places are. So having our home in the center, and if we decide we want to go and take a trip to the coffee shop, we would know that we would head towards the store at the end of the street and take a right, and the coffee shop is there. In the other direction, take a left at the store, and the flower shop is there. If we needed to get to the bank, we go in the opposite direction, and the bank is to the left and the hospital is to the right. You don't have to make a map. Just get familiar with your neighborhood. Ride around. Take a ride through the neighborhood. Just know where things are. Activities.
Activities. I can explore new activities to see what I like and don't like. I should be able to participate in activities I like. I should have the opportunity to exercise and have fun every day.
So everyone has the right to engage in or participate in activities that they like, right? But James, what about risky activities? Can you participate in risky activities?
Yes, as long as you understand the risks, you can participate in them. Some people choose to participate in skydiving, activity like and jet skiing. I should be able to participate in these types of activities as long as I'm safe.
Yep. So what can we do? What can we do to make sure that we're participating in the activities that we like?
Again, we can create a list or have someone create a list with us of the activities that we like to do. Go online and get ideas for fun things to do in your community. Ask for ideas. Come up with a schedule and a plan for participating in these activities. Discuss my schedule and plan with caregivers, family, friends, and my ISP team. If you need help with anything, ask for help.
Okay, so that brings us to clothing. When it comes to clothing, what I wear is my choice. I can shop for my own clothes and pick out what I think looks good. My caregiver should support me to make sure that my clothing is always neat and clean, and I should have clothes for every season. So what can I do to make sure that I am wearing what I think looks good, that I'm choosing to wear what I think looks good and what I want to wear? I can look online and in magazines for fashion ideas. I can window shop. I can try on different things. If I see someone wearing something that I like, it's okay to compliment them and ask them where I can find the same thing. And I can ask for opinions, but only if I want them. So possessions.
Possessions. What is my most prized possession?
What is your most prized possession?
Well, my most prized possession would be my train set.
Your train set. I did not know until yesterday that you had a train set. I think that's awesome. My most prized possession is my DVD collection of a TV show back in the 80s called Hunter, which no one ever knows about. No one ever remembers that show, but that's my most prized possession.
Except for me.
Except for you, yeah. So what is everyone else's most prized possession? Do you have any prized possessions?
Yeah, mine is emergency.
Your what?
My most prized possessions is the videos of emergency.
What's emergency?
It's a TV show that's kind of like a 911 basis back in like the 60s or 70s.
Ah, okay. So we both collect DVDs. That's awesome. Anybody else have any prized possessions? Anthony?
My CDs.
Your CDs? Great. So what are possessions?
Possessions are things that we own. If I buy something, it's mine. I can use my possession whenever I want to. I should have a place to store my possessions. I should be able to get my things when I want to.
Great. So now we'll talk about nutrition. My kitchen cabinets and refrigerator should be full of foods that are good for me. I should help with the grocery shopping so that I can buy foods and drinks that I like. Sometimes I want to eat cookies and ice cream, and is that okay?
As long as it's not every day. But, it's fine once in a while.
So what if my doctor puts me on a diet? That happens, right? Our doctors make recommendations. They want us to lose weight. They want us to do other things, stop smoking. They make a lot of recommendations. So let's say my doctor puts me on a diet. A doctor usually makes a recommendation that will help me to be healthy. So it's important to remember that the doctor wants you or wants me to be healthy, and they're making a recommendation to help us to be healthy. I can choose whether to follow his or her advice. If my doctor makes a recommendation that I don't agree with, I should discuss it with him or her and with my team and try to come up with something that I can follow. So communication.
Communication. I should always be able to contact the people I want to. I should have privacy whenever I'm using the phone, texting, sending email, or using communication devices.
So privacy is a big one. When it comes to privacy, no one should post my picture online or in any place outside of my home without my consent. That's very important. No one should give my address to anyone without my consent. Privacy also means that I should have privacy when I sleep. I should also have privacy when I am taking care of my hygiene, getting dressed, and using the bathroom. If I need help with hygiene, getting dressed, or using the bathroom, I should feel comfortable with the staff person or whomever is helping me. If I'm uncomfortable with a particular staff person helping me, then someone else should step in to help.
Visits. I should be able to have visitors in my home. If visitors come to see me, then staff should find me to ask me if I want that person to come in.
Mm-hmm.
I should have privacy when visitors come to see me.
Mm-hmm.
I should also be able to have visitors in my room.
So that is, those are the rights. Those are the rights that we should be exercising. And the suggestions that we gave, those are just suggestions, but those are ways to exercise your rights. So now we'll talk about restrictions. Restrictions, it's important to understand what restrictions are. Ideally, we should always get whatever we want whenever we want it, right? But that can't happen. We know that, right? So there are sometimes there's a need to put in a restriction or a limit. We'll call it a limit. When I think of what a restriction is, I immediately think of the speed limit. Everyone has to abide by the speed limit when they're driving, right? You can't go 150 miles an hour on the Mass Pike. You can't, because you could lose control of your car, or you put other people in danger, at risk. So the speed limit or the speed restriction is in place to keep you and everyone else on the road safe. So restrictions are limitations or controls placed on someone or something. Sometimes our rights may be limited to help keep us safe. Those who support me should make sure that the least restrictive options are used first. And when we say least restrictive, we mean that if there's a need for a restriction, that the team or whomever has thought about it and has come up with the least controlling way to help to keep us safe. So think about cooking. Let's say someone has lacks some safety skills in the kitchen, maybe has started a fire or something in the past, and the team wants to just completely restrict their access to the kitchen. That would be the most restrictive thing that you could do, just saying, nope, you can't have access to the kitchen. The least restrictive way, or something less restrictive, would be you can have access to the kitchen, but we're going to just help you. We're going to support you. We're going to supervise you. So I don't have complete freedom to use the kitchen. I have someone kind of helping me, but it's a less restrictive support than just saying, nope, you can't have access to the kitchen. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's give some examples of what restrictions are. So we talked about the right to have visitors. We talked about the right to have visitors, privacy, visitors in our bedroom, and all of that. We all have the right to have visitors. If someone shows up at the door and you share your home with someone and you have a staff, the staff should find you and get you, and you decide whether or not you want that person to come in and visit. But, James, what if my friend shows up at the house and is drunk and is threatening to hurt me? Can my staff turn that person away?
Yes, and I hope they would.
That's a situation where I might be in danger, right? The person is threatening to hurt me, so that can't happen. So my right to have visitors is limited, and my visitor is turned away because they could hurt me or hurt someone else.
So I have the right to use the telephone. But what if I use the telephone to call 911 just because I want to talk to someone? Just because I like to, and between there and
There's no emergency.
and there's no real emergency.
Yeah, we can't, I mean, can that happen? Can people just call 911 all day? No, you can't just call 911 all day. So a restriction might be put in place for someone who uses the telephone. It may not be, no, you can't, it can't be, no, you can't use the phone ever in life ever again. It would be something like, if you're using the phone, we might have someone supervising you, someone to support you to use the phone the right way.
Or it might be, you might have to be in a public space.
Or that, yep.
That would be the least restrictive, you know, it's play, so.
So I have the right to use my possessions when I want. But what if I wanted to use my iPad to get on the internet to contact strangers and invite them to my house? Can I do that? No, that's not safe. That's not safe, so my iPad, me using my iPad, I might need some support around that. Someone might need to supervise me when I use my iPad. So that might be a limit or a restriction placed on my use of the iPad. So before a restriction is official, what must happen? I or my guardian must give consent. My ISP team must approve. The Human Rights Committee of the agency that supports me must approve. And my doctor sometimes has to approve. So what can I do to make sure that I understand the restrictions that are in place for me, if there are any? I can ask questions about why the restriction is necessary. I can help the team to develop a plan to get rid of the restriction. So ultimately, if there's a restriction in place, then there should be a plan to get rid of it. No restriction should be in place for someone forever. There should be a plan to fade it, a plan to get rid of it, and you should be a part of that plan. And I can talk to my human rights advocate if I don't feel the restriction is necessary. And the human rights advocate is the person who works with you in your house or your job, your program. They've been specifically trained to help you to resolve human rights issues, to help you to get your needs met. So we talked about services and supports, we talked about rights, we talked about dignity and self-determination, we talked about restrictions. So now we should just talk a little bit about responsibilities, right? So what are our responsibilities? What should we be responsible for?
Knowing our rights, knowing who to go to if we need help, speaking up to let others know what we need, being active in my services and supports.
We talked about being active and passive before, so active, making sure we're informed, making sure we're asking the right questions, making sure that we know what's going on. What are some more responsibilities that we have?
Treating others with respect. Understanding that I may share my home or space with others. Using our possessions in a legal, safe, proper ways. Understanding that I may have to wait for some of the things I want. If I want a new bed, it costs $1,000. I may have to save up for that.
I must also understand that my choices have consequences, right? So if I stay awake all night,
I won't be able to go to work tomorrow.
if I spend all my money on cigarettes,
I may not have enough money to go to the movie or out with friends.
and if I don't do my laundry,
I may not have clean clothes to wear when I want to go out.
so we have rights. We can stay awake all night if we want to, but we're going to be tired the next day. So our choices, all of our choices have consequences, and it's important to remember that. It's also important to know who can help me when it comes to just a human rights question or a concern that I have. There's the human rights officer or advocate, and like I said, those are the people that work within your program, and they're specifically trained to help you to resolve human rights problems or issues. The human rights coordinator of the agency that provides services and supports to you, there's usually one person, and that person has other responsibilities, but they also can support you to get your needs met. The human rights specialist, there's one in each region of Massachusetts. I'm one of them. Your staff, your service coordinator, a family member, a friend, or someone that you feel comfortable with. And who else?
And someone from your self-advocacy group, like the coordinator.
So if you're a member of a self-advocacy group, then there's a coordinator, and there are also peers. You can go to
Right.
peers. Yep. So here's some contact information for the Office for Human Rights, the Department of Developmental Services. We have an Office for Human Rights. We have our director's number there, and then there's contact number for each specialist, so for each region, and we're always available to take calls. We're always available. So for the last part, we want to cover frequently asked questions. We came up with some questions. Actually, we asked the self-advocates a bunch of questions and about, what they're struggling with, things that they want to get answers about, and these were the questions that they had. So the answers to the following questions may be different for someone who needs more support or assistance with safety. So if these answers are not true for me, then I can notify my human rights advocate and then contact my service coordinator to find out why. So the first question, do I have the right to vote? We're hoping that you answer. So, we're asking you in the audience this question. So, do I have the right to vote? Do you have the right to vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. If I'm a U.S. citizen, if I'm registered to vote,
Yep, that's it. So you just have to be a U.S. citizen, you have to be registered, and you can vote. Question that comes up all the time is, but what if I have a guardian?
you should check your guardianship decree, but if it does not say you don't have the right, if it does not say that
That you can't
vote, then you most definitely can vote.
And your guardianship decree is just it's the court, the document that was given by the court that outlines, who your guardian is, what they're responsible for, and it will say, what decisions they are responsible for making on your behalf. So check that, and if you need help or support, ask your human rights advocate to review it with you. Next question, can I go to school?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. If I have the money to pay for it. If I apply and get accepted.
Yep. So the rules are the same for everyone. If I want to go to school, I have to have the money. I have to be able to afford the tuition. It's expensive sometimes. And I have to apply, and I have to get in. So the same, what applies for me, this is the same thing that applies for you. Can I get a job?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes. If I apply and get hired.
That's it. If you apply and get hired, there's some things that go into applying and getting hired, like you have to have experience doing whatever it is that you're looking to do. Most people look for experience. You have to go on a job interview. What else?
Look presentable on the interview.
Yeah, and maybe answer some questions about yourself. And if the employer is happy and they want you to work for them, then they'll hire you. Can I buy a car and a house?
Yes.
Yes. If I have the money to buy them, and if all other necessary needs and bills are paid.
Do I have the right to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend?
Yes. 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 I can even get married.
Yep. Can I have a pet?
Yes.
Yes. If I have the money to buy one, and if I, not my staff or others, can take care of it.
And that means food and water, medicine.
Means food, water, medication, vet visits, cleanings. If my landlord agrees, and if my housemates agree.
Yep. Do I have to eat what my staff made for dinner?
Yes.
No.
You want to answer again, Rose? Let's see. What do you really think? Okay, I don't believe you. I know you, and I know that you would say, no way, get out of here.
I think she's just being that one sarcastic member.
So the answer is no.
No.
You do not have to eat what your staff made for dinner.
I should eat what I want. I should be offered something different. If I can, I should be involved in the cooking or meal planning so that I can make sure my meals are prepared the way I want.
Awesome. What about this one? If my staff don't practice the same religion as me, do they still have to take me to church?
Yes.
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 My staff are paid to support me and to help me to get the things I need. I should be supported to get to my place of worship.
And the last one, what if I don't like my house? Can I move?
Yes.
Yes. If there is an available room or apartment in a house that meets my needs, I should bring this up at my ISP meeting.
Great. So those were the questions that are most frequently asked when it comes to rights. If your question was not included in this presentation, then contact the human rights advocate who works with you. That person can help you to get the answers that you need. So are there any questions? Does anyone have any questions before we close? Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming.